Hi guys, welcome back to The Anxious Girly. Today I want to talk about something that I think a lot of us go through, but I don't think it's widely talked about. And that's grieving somebody that's still alive. The fact that not all loss equals death, that sometimes you can absolutely grieve somebody who is still alive and maybe still a part of your world to some extent. And I think that kind of loss can be quite confusing. The past year for me, especially the past couple of months, I've lost people in very different ways. Some slowly, some dramatically, and some out of choice. I don't mean losing somebody physically. I mean losing what you thought something was going to be with someone, like losing a connection. Definitely a weird time in my life when I look back, because even now, I am grieving people that are still out there alive, living their lives. I've definitely heard people say that you're not actually grieving somebody if they're still alive, but I beg to differ. And the reason for that is because it's not clean, is it? They're still here. They could message you, they could call you, you could call them, but something changed. You can absolutely love someone and want the best for them in their lives, but just know with absolute certainty that they can't eat at your table anymore. And that's the mess, that's the trickiness that goes on with these kind of losses. And the sad truth is, sometimes you're not even missing them. Sometimes you're just missing the version of them that you made up in your head. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all do that. We all kind of have a version of this person, projecting your own ways of doing things onto someone else. I'm at a time in my life where I am absolutely not the same person I was 6-7 months ago. And as I said, there are people that I've had to let go of who I thought would be in my life for eternity. And I don't wish them any illness, despite the wrong that I may have felt they did to me. I wish them the absolute best. And it's not necessarily because I completely forgive and forget. That's not the case. As I'm discovering more about myself and protecting myself with boundaries, I'm starting to realize that forgiving somebody is less about them and it's more about me. I'm learning that I can forgive someone, but also know that you're not coming back here again. I used to think that forgiveness was letting someone back in. And that's not the case at all. Up until recently, I hated conflict. And I still do to a certain extent. For me now, I've grown to a place where sometimes conflict and uncomfortability is non-negotiable. Sometimes you have to have uncomfortable conversations in order to grow a friendship, a relationship. Once upon a time, I would forgive people and just completely wipe the slate clean without having any sort of conversation with them. And I think that led me to neglect my own feelings and my own needs in terms of I'm not good enough for closure. Like I'm not good enough for an explanation, which in turn obviously fed into my low self-esteem. Now it's more about just letting that go completely within myself. If I am going to have you in my life, then we're going to have that uncomfortable conversation. Even then, if you've wronged me, the choice is still very much mine. I can forgive you and still go, we're not good for each other. Because it's a two-way street at the end of the day. I'm not perfect, and I'm not going to claim to. If you're not good for me, I'm probably not good for you either. Our dynamic isn't good for each other. It's about not letting it sit on my chest and affect how I move forward as a person. I can absolutely understand why somebody has said or acted a type of way and still not agree with it. But at the same time, just because I'm able to analyze it the way I do, that doesn't mean that the hurt still doesn't come. Of course it does. I have good days and bad days just like anybody else. And some of the losses that I've experienced within the past couple of months shocked me. One in particular caused me a lot of heartbreak, but I've learned so much from it and I've grown as a person just sitting with the uncomfortable truth of this person was not supposed to be in my life, thinking about things that I could have done differently. I'm also learning that I don't get to just automatically blame myself. And I don't think that's bitterness. I think that's boundaries, and I think that's quite healthy. I think losing these people has taught me a lot about myself. It's taught me to slow down and actually analyze who gets access to my inner circle. It definitely taught me who's down for me, especially the past couple of months where I've been not so stable. But even then, the people that are around me doesn't mean to say that we're going to get on all the time. We're going to have fights, we're going to have disagreements, and I think it's just how you handle that as two people. Really looking back on the person that I was 6 months ago, I'm really proud of myself because I can say that I don't chase people the way I used to. I don't seek reassurance the way I used to. I'm not collecting people like stamps. And more importantly, I don't abandon myself to keep someone. And that was one of my biggest issues. And it feels so refreshing to no longer do that. If you don't like me, you don't like me. That's okay. I'm not put on this earth to please you. We're always going to find people that they just don't fit with us, don't align with us. Just carry on walking. Wish them well and carry on. I don't hate any of these people. If anything, I say thank you to these people for helping me grow. Just push me one step closer to the people that are for me. Closure isn't always a conversation. Sometimes it's a decision. Closure is absolutely something you can give to yourself. You don't need to rely on someone else. So start deciding that for yourself. I want growth. I want happiness. I want authenticity. And I think that's what healing is. It's choosing peace over familiarity. I've definitely had times where I just wanted the pain to stop because I know that they're out there somewhere. And I don't know if they feel the same way about me. But the simple truth is, you have to remember why you're in the situation in the first place and ask yourself, is it really good for me? And sit with that. Because the answer isn't always so simple. It's not always so black and white. And honestly, it's probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, is let go of some of these people. And remember, just because these people are still alive and living their lives, that doesn't mean to say you can't grieve them. And grieving takes time. If you've enjoyed this episode and you're dealing with grief for someone who is still walking around, let me know in the comments. How's it making you feel? I'd love to hear from you. And as always, guys, I've been the Anxious Girly. Until next time, bye.